Hello and welcome to Learn and Level Up English Podcast. I'm your host, Lori, and I'm thrilled to have you here today as we embark on an exciting journey to master the basics of counting in English. Whether you're just starting out or brushing up on your skills, this lesson is the perfect place to begin. Why? Because numbers are the building blocks of communication. Imagine navigating daily life without knowing how to count. It would be quite a challenge, wouldn't it? In today's episode, we'll be focusing on counting from 1 to 100. Don't worry if it sounds overwhelming. I'll guide you step by step, making it simple, engaging, and fun. Learning to count isn't just about memorizing numbers. It's about unlocking the ability to tell time accurately, share important information like your age or phone number, manage everyday tasks like shopping or traveling. By the end of this podcast, you'll not only be able to count confidently, but you'll also gain practical tips for using numbers in real-life situations. So, grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's dive into this essential topic that will form the foundation of your English learning journey. Are you ready? Let's get started with some powerful reasons why learning numbers is so important. Why learn numbers? Numbers are an essential part of our daily lives. We use them in countless ways, often without even realizing it. From the moment we wake up to the time we go to bed, numbers play a crucial role in how we navigate the world. Let's break down some of the key reasons why learning numbers is not just important, but absolutely necessary when learning English. Telling time. Numbers help us keep track of time, which is vital for planning and organizing our day. Whether you're meeting a friend, catching a bus, or attending a class, being able to tell time in English ensures you're punctual and prepared. For example, you might hear someone ask, "What time is it?" And you'd respond, "It's 3 o'clock." Without knowing numbers, answering this question would be impossible. Counting objects. Imagine you're shopping at a grocery store and you need to count how many apples or bananas you're buying. Numbers make it easy to communicate exactly what you need. For instance, you might say, "I'll take 5 apples," or "I need 2 bottles of water." Mastering this skill will make everyday tasks smoother and more efficient. Sharing personal information. Numbers are essential when giving or receiving personal information, such as phone numbers, addresses, or dates. For example, if someone asks, "What's your phone number?" you'll need to confidently say, "My number is 555-01234. This ability is crucial for making connections and staying in touch. Handling money and transactions. When you're buying something, knowing numbers is critical for understanding prices, making payments, and even asking for change. Imagine being at a cafe and needing to pay for a coffee. You'd need to understand when the cashier says, "That'll be $3.50. Travel and navigation. Numbers are everywhere in travel, from flight numbers to bus routes to hotel room numbers. Being able to say and understand these numbers will make your travels much more enjoyable and stress-free. By learning to count in English, you're equipping yourself with a skill that will help you in all these situations and more. Numbers are the foundation for effective communication and problem-solving in a wide range of scenarios. So, let's start mastering them, step by step. Numbers from 1 to 20. The first 20 numbers in English are unique and must be memorized because they don't follow a consistent pattern like the higher numbers do. Learning these numbers forms the foundation for all the numbers that come later. Let's go over them one by one. Listen carefully as I say each number and then repeat it after me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's excellent. Now, let's practice saying them together in smaller groups. I'll say them in sets of 5, and you can repeat after me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Great job! Take your time practicing these numbers. Remember, these first 20 numbers are special because they each have their own unique names. Unlike the tens or higher numbers, you can't rely on patterns here. However, don't worry. The more you repeat them, the easier they'll become to recall. To help you remember, try associating the numbers with objects or situations in your daily life. For example, I have 1 pen on my desk. There are 3 chairs in the kitchen. I see 8 birds outside the window. Using these numbers in real sentences and scenarios will solidify them in your memory. Now that you've practiced the first 20 numbers, you're ready to move on to the next step, learning the tens and recognizing the patterns that make counting beyond 20 much simpler. Let's keep going. Counting by tens. Once you've mastered numbers 1 through 20, the next milestone is learning the tens. These numbers form the backbone of counting beyond 20 and follow a consistent pattern. Let's start by saying each of the tens together. Listen carefully and repeat after me. 10, 20, 30. 40, 50, 60. 70, 80. 90, 100. Fantastic! Did you notice the pattern? Many of these numbers end with tan, tai, such as 30, 40, and 50. This suffix indicates multiples of 10 and will help you recognize these numbers easily. Let's practice saying them in order. Repeat after me. 10, 20, 30. 40, 50, 60. 70, 80. 90, 100. Now, let's challenge ourselves by saying them in reverse order. Are you ready? Here we go. 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Well done! Repetition is key, so feel free to replay this section as often as needed until you feel confident. Once you're comfortable with these, you'll find it much easier to count higher numbers by combining tens with single digits. Let's move on to the next part to see how that works. Combining numbers. Now that you've learned the tens, it's time to combine them with single digits to form numbers between 21 and 99. The pattern is simple. Say the tens first, followed by the single digit. For example, 2 and 1 is 21, 3 and 5 is 35, 8 and 9 is 89. Let's practice together. I'll say a number and you repeat it after me. 22, 47, 68, 94. Great! Let's try a quick exercise. I'll give you a number and you'll try to say it on your own. Ready? What's 5 and 6? That's right, 56. Let's try another one. What's 7 and 3? Correct? 73. Fantastic work. Remember, the pattern stays the same. Tens first, then the ones. Practicing these combinations will make you a pro at counting in no time. To reinforce what you've learned, try using these numbers in everyday scenarios. For example, I have 21 books on my shelf. The building has 68 floors. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Let's keep building on this foundation with some listening and speaking exercises in the next part. Now it's time to put your skills to the test. Listening and speaking are crucial components of mastering any language. In this section, we'll focus on practicing your ability to hear and accurately say numbers. Don't worry, I'll guide you through step by step. Let's start with some basic repetition exercises. I'll say a number and you'll repeat it after me. Ready? Here we go. 12, 39, 84. Great! Now let's make it more interactive. I'll say a number, but this time I'll pause so you can respond on your own. Then I'll confirm the correct answer. Let's try it. What's 5 and 6? That's right, 56. Let's try another one. What's 7 and 2? Yes, 72. Fantastic work. Now, let's challenge ourselves further. I'll give you a number in reverse order, and you'll need to say it correctly. For example, if I say 83, you'll say 38. Ready? Let's go. 1. I say 91. You respond. 2. I say 64. You respond. 3. I say 72. You respond. 4. I say 44. You respond. 5. I say 85. You respond? Well done. Mixing things up like this helps sharpen your focus and strengthens your recall. Now, let's practice a real-life scenario. Imagine you're at a store and the cashier tells you the total cost of your purchase. Listen carefully to the amount they say and repeats it back to confirm. Cashier, that will be $25.70. You respond, $25.70. Or imagine you're giving someone your phone number. My phone number is 987-6543. These kinds of practical exercises make learning numbers more relatable and fun. Replay this section and practice until you feel confident. Remember, repetition is key to mastering listening and speaking. That's all for today's lesson on counting from 1 to 100 in English. You've done an amazing job. Remember, practice makes perfect. Replay this episode as many times as you need, and don't forget to try the exercises. In our next episode, we'll learn how to ask and answer questions using numbers. For example, how much does it cost? Or, what's your phone number? Until then, keep learning and leveling up your English skills. Goodbye and happy learning!